Hello, everyone. Welcome to the A Link Between Worlds Randomizer. I think we'll be getting started pretty soon here. So this is the second match of the top four. Whoever wins this will be on their way to fighting Seb in the grand final, which will be a best of three. Yeah, so we have Foomafu and Adri. These are the top, the top two, I think, for Group A. And yeah, so it should be no. Adri was in my group, Group B, and then Fumafu was in Group A. So, yeah, neither of them have raced each other yet, so it should be an interesting race. Ooh, here we can see there's actually a big chest at the top of Hyrule Castle. And there's a fire rod, flipper's glove. There's a lot of stuff already in the shop. Some silver rupees for people to buy. So there's a lot of potential here. Having the flippers early is definitely very nice. It lets you get into some dungeons. And the power glove will let you go up Death Mountain early, which has a ton of checks. Or at least like start making your way up Death Mountain. And also having the fire rod will let them go into the sanctuary and get a check south near Lake Hylia. But the sanctuary is definitely the more important part. There's a lot of checks there. And we're pausing Fomafu's screen to get the matches back synced up. And there we go. I think they should be pretty in sync now. The river mini dungeon, the silver rupee. It's good to know. Rupees do play an important role early in the randomizer. Bouldering guy has great spin. That's not an item that we require, but it does make things a lot easier. But I doubt our runners are going to go out of their way to get the great spin. So no great spin in this race, most likely. They're making their way into Kakariko now. Ravio's shop is on the path to Stallblind, and Treacherous Tower is a piece of heart. And since we have the glove, we can get the woman check. So we rescue her from the cries of the Mai Mai on the roof. Meanwhile, Adri is going into the well, where they're finding a master ore. And woman only gave a single rupee, just a Greg. So, not that exciting. Oh, and there's the boomerang there. It was hard to see. The boomerang is actually also pretty useful to have. It'll let them hit switches, so they could go into Eastern Palace if they wanted to. Hyrule Castle area is on the path to Margot Mill. Margot Mill is the boss for House of Gales. So for that, we already have the flippers, but we would need the Tornado Rod. So maybe the Tornado Rod is hiding around in the Hyrule Castle area, or something that would lead to the Tornado Rod. And so there we saw Adri just peek into the jail chest, and that is because we're playing with chest-sized matches contents. And so if it's a small chest, that means it's most likely like a junk item. And our runners will be collecting small chests at first, just to collect some rupees and build up some health. But then eventually they'll stop checking the small chests. And so there we saw Adri equip the fire rod, getting ready to go and do the sanctuary. And it looks like foomafu is planning on... Oh no, they're going to talk to the hint ghost up here. Alright, a lot of the same hints so far, unfortunately. The Tower of Hera Fairy room was the compass, I think. That is convenient to know. That's kind of an annoying chest to have to get. Ooh, and there's a big chest. Oh, it's just a small key. So there is one small key in the sanctuary area. Our runners... Oh, they also both did get the lamp somewhere. I actually missed that, where they found the lamp. But maybe it was on the Dampe. And so foomafu just like peeking at the chest, seeing that they're small, so they're not going to go and clear out the sanctuary. And so now our runners have a lot of options of what they can do. It looks like they're both heading around the witch's house area, grabbing the weather vane and a ghost, and probably the waterfall cave where there's normally a piece of heart, but this time it'll be something else. The first part of Ravio's bracelet. So Ravio's bracelet is the key item in this game to be able to merge onto walls. It's very important for a lot of checks and getting around and playing the game, basically. So it comes in two parts. Each of them just found the first part. And so now they're going to be on the hunt for the second part. So it looks like foomafu is heading up to... There's another piece of heart up here in some rocks. So we'll see if this is the second part of Ravio's bracelet. It is the tornado run. So that resolves the Hyrule Castle area to Margot Mill hint. So we can go to House of Gales. I'm not sure which dungeons are pendant dungeons or portrait dungeons. I'm gonna take a peek at one of their streams right now and try to see if I can find out. Foomafu is not streaming the second screen. Adri. I'm not sure what their Twitch is. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So it looks like maybe Foomafu's considering House of Gales. They don't have merge, so they're not going to be able to do a lot of it. They're actually going to go to the southern area. There's a piece of heart here and some more hint ghosts. They don't have bombs, so they're not able to access the hidden cave where there's another piece of heart. And meanwhile, Adri is going into Eastern. So it seems like Adri is pretty aggressively ignoring the small chest so far. Ravio shop is on the path to Stallblind, so we got that hint. I'm assuming that's referencing the flippers that were in the shop, which is a pretty worthless hint. But I don't know. Maybe there's something else there. All right. Adri just found a small key, so they're able to continue throughout the dungeon. Oh, and there's another chest there, so... Okay, and here's the big chest. A big chest. A bottle. A bottle is... It's useful to have. If you have the bug net, you can capture fairies in it. But in this tournament, the bottles fill up with a purple potion, which, if you have a sword, will give you, like, one full screen AoE massive damage attack, which is very useful to have. It's useful for clearing out a lot of rooms very quickly. Neither of our runners have a sword right now, though, so the purple potion doesn't do anything. So, while Adri is clearing out Eastern Palace, which I am not sure if it's Portrait or Pendant, foomafu's going to start working their way up Death Mountain. Okay, here's another big chest. So it could be the big key, but it's actually a sword. So that's nice for Adri to have. It'll make clearing out some of these rooms much easier. And it looks like foomafu froze again. Hopefully their stream will pick up again soon. So here's another chest for Adri. Some more Master Ore. So that's actually 2 pieces of Master Ore. So Adri could go to the Hyrule Blacksmith and get the check there. Oh, it sounds like foomafu died. The audio was still going. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think they're back. And based on their tracker, it doesn't seem like they have anything new, at least, so... Eastern Palace seems to have a lot of stuff so far. There was a sword. Oh, this probably is the big key, though. Alright, foomafu is back. Okay, so Adri found the beak key, so they are able to complete Eastern Palace. And it looks like foomafu is going to go right back. Maybe. Yeah. They don't have merge yet, so going up Death Mountain is kind of tough. Adri ignoring the small chest there. So typically against Yuga, you're supposed to use the bow, but you can basically use anything that has range and throw that at him. Okay. foomafu picked up $300. So I'm assuming they're going to grab the Weather Vane and warp somewhere else. Meanwhile, Adri finished Yuga off. And then it's just getting some pieces of heart. And they don't have a scoot fruit, so they're going to have to take a long way out of here. Picking up the scoot fruit will let you just get out of the dungeon instantly. Now we'll see if this was a portrait or a pendant. It was a portrait, so it's a required dungeon. And it's the Impa portrait. So if Adri can find the Master Sword, he can go and get this check, which is Zelda's throne. And I can now see from Adri's stream that both Tower of Hera and House of Gales are required. Also, they're pendant dungeons. And so we'll see what the Master Ore gets them. The hammer. So when they have merged, they can go and do both House of Gales and the Tower of Hera. Kakariko's on the path to Moldorm. I'm assuming that's connected to the hammer somehow. Maybe the boomerang to get into House of Gales to get the Master Ore. But now it's basically just a hunt for the second part of the merge bracelet. And we know Foomafu's not going to find it in Eastern, but Foomafu will find a sword, which I'm sure they'll be happy about. Queen Orin is junk. So far, the hint ghosts have been pretty not helpful. But we'll see if something more interesting with the hidden ghost comes up soon. Besides the second part of Ravio's bracelet, another important item our runners are going to be looking for is called Quake, which will open up the cracks that'll let you go into low rule, which is basically like the Dark World equivalent from A Link to the Past. And we can see that there was a big chest over there. So when we have merge, we'll be able to go over there and check that. Merge and bombs, I suppose. But for now, there's not much else Adri can do here, so he's going to get out of there. And so, since he does have hammer, there's a peg. There's a bunch of pegs over here that Adri could hammer down and try to see what this piece of heart is. It's the second part of Ravio's bracelet, so now Adri can go and do House of Gales. Adri could go do the Tower of Hera. Things are a lot more open now for Adri. So it'll definitely be very important that Foomafu quickly cashes in the 2 Master Ore that they have. Before Adri does go and do dungeons, though, they're going to go and get the Shady Guy, which will unlock 2 checks in Kakariko. Adri's going to go and check out what those are first. looks like monster guts, and then Adri actually scared off the shady guy, so we'll have to see in a little bit what that is. Meanwhile, Adri's going to pick up a scoot fruit in his shield. So, shady guy didn't have anything noteworthy, just a piece of heart and monster guts. There's also a piece of heart behind this house, which has the bow. That is nice to find. It's a ranged weapon that does a lot. Eastern Palace is on the path to Yuga, also a pretty worthless hint. So far, I think all of the hints have been pretty terrible. And Adri is going over to talk to the ghosts in the Lost Woods, where the Master Sword chest would be, which is interesting. All right, so it looks like Adri is going to go to Tower of Hera first, which I think makes sense. Tower of Hera is a lot more profitable check-wise compared to House of Gales, as well as going up Death Mountain. So, it does look like foomafu is going to cash in the Master Ore right away. And there, Adri found the Master Sword. So, that means a couple of things. Basically, they can get the Impa check that they got from the portrait for Eastern Palace. But also, it will let them go and have the rematch against Yuga again. In Hyrule Castle, which will let them go into the central Lorule area. And that means that's where Quake could potentially be. We'll see. There's still a lot of places that they can check in the main Hyrule area that Quake could be, but that is an option. And it looks like foomafu's having freezing issues again. Hopefully their stream will come back soon. Maybe they're just having issues all around. Let me... Okay, they're not saying anything in the race time room. Okay, there they go. Now they're getting the hammer. Lorule Blacksmith has a sword upgrade. So that is good to know. But you would need 2 more pieces of Master Ore. So I doubt, unless if our runners conveniently easily get it and can go to the Lorule Blacksmith easily, I don't think they'll be going for that anytime soon. Meanwhile, Adri is making their way up the Tower of Hera. And then Foomafu will be very excited to get their second merge bracelet. So we didn't see Adri go for this check, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see if this is something that'll put them in a big lead over Adri or not. Okay, they just made it. The super lamp, interesting. So the super lamp doesn't sound like it would be anything, but it's actually an item that deals massive damage. As much as a gold sword, I think. It has very short range and is not as fast as a regular sword. But if you use it well, you could clear out some bosses pretty quickly. As well, it's very effective against Ganon in the final fight. So it's not necessary, but Foomafu could use it to their advantage to go through bosses faster than Adri might, or something. So here, Foomafu is going to get the Master Sword as well. There's a big chest over there, so it's always kind of annoying when this is a big chest because you'll have to... Ooh, the Titan's Mitts. You kind of have to go through this section again, but finding the Titan's Mitts is definitely nice. It lets you get to a few more checks, as well as beating Desert Palace, which may or may not be a portrait. And so we know that the fairy room is just a piece of heart, I think. It was a junk item, so Adri will most likely skip it. I think they got that hint. They did, so. And they're going to use the sword beams to quickly hit these switches. But that room can kind of troll you a bit, so. Now they'll go and hit the last switch. Now Adri's on their way to Moldorm to fight the boss for Tower of Hera. Meanwhile, Foomafu is getting into Tower of Hera now, so not too far behind, but still a little bit behind. And there was a Gully portrait. Gully does not unlock any checks, so he's still required, but it's not the best portrait that you would want to see. And because we have the Master Sword, Moldorm just falls apart very quickly. In the vanilla game, you'd be using the Captain Sword against him. Doesn't do them very much damage at all, but the Master Sword is a lot more effective. And here's a bottle. This is Adri's first bottle. And so now they can make pretty good use of the purple potion with the Master Sword. It'll quickly clear out mini boss rooms and such. And so they'll need their bottle empty to get the check from the big guy. Oh no, they don't. Never mind. But Adri got the smooth gem. So that is once when you rescue Queen Orin's portrait, you can use the smooth gem to get a check from Queen Orin. We had a hint earlier that Queen Orin was junk. I can't remember what it was. I think it might have been a purple rupee. So smooth gem, basically a junk item. And so there we see foomafu getting the purple potion ready for to fight the red Stalfos. The purple potion will just destroy these guys, so foomafu will be able to clear this room much faster than Adri did. So now I'm guessing Adri is going to talk to this ghost. Ravio's shop is on the path to Argus. More not very helpful hints. So their purple potion, dead. And now Adri's going to go into House of Gales. Oh no. That's very unfortunate. Especially because they're going to see the big chest and have to go through this section again. But they will get the Tinesmiths, so they can't be too upset. And Adri's still very aggressively ignoring the what's it called? Small chests. Which I think ignoring that small chest makes sense, but they only have 4 hearts, so they'll need to be careful, especially since they'll probably be going into low rule soon. And just random enemies in low rule deal 3 hearts of damage pretty easily, so just having 4 hearts is a little spooky. Foomafu must have not gotten the hint, so they went down into that area. And Foomafu's stream is freezing up again, unfortunately. Apparently their emulator is actually freezing, it's not just the stream. Okay. So, looks like Foomafu is back. But it's unfortunate that technical difficulties are happening for them. Now they're going to fight the hamburger and lettuce. And they are going to try to use the super lamp. I love this. There, just 2 hits with the super lamp, dead. The master sword also makes pretty quick work, but I like the super lamp swag. So Adri's getting another bottle, another purple potion, and getting their own gully portrait. So it looks like Fumufu's gonna head straight to House of Gales now. Low Rule Castle area is on the path to Saganaga. So that's good to know. That's actually a more useful hint than a lot of the other ones we've gotten. So that also tells us that Desert Palace is required. So the Titans Mitts were critical to find there in Tower of Hera. So Adri's not using the purple potion for this room. I think that's a pretty big mistake. It'll let you stay on that ledge to be able to grab the chest. And so yeah, you don't have to walk all the way around again. But we'll see Adri just use the tornado rod and try to kill these guys the old-fashioned way. And so, yeah, if Adri used the purple potion up there, they would have just been able to go right to that chest. And then exit the room and not have to go all the way around like this. But it seemed like they wanted this little chest, so maybe that's why they did it. Now Adri's gonna fight Margot Mill, the big IHOP boss. So Margot Mill's not hard, but Margot Mill can kind of troll you, and you just keep bouncing off of him and fall off the edge. All right, so Adri clears out Margot Mill. They're gonna grab whatever this item is. It's the compass. It's annoying when that happens, but and then grab the Osfula portrait. So that will unlock an item in Ravio's shop. I can't remember. I know they checked it, but I can't remember what it was. Part of me feels like it was a piece of heart, but I'm not sure. So, but if it's important, our runners will go back for it. But Adri's gonna go and talk to the bird lover. But I imagine that they're gonna just go to Hyrule Castle pretty quickly and beat Yuga to there. And looks like, oh no, Foomafu's grabbing this key. So it seems like Adri wants to clear out some of the checks around here before going all the way to Hyrule Castle to beat Yuga there. So here is Foomafu going to use a purple potion. Oh no. The purple potion is so good in this room. Especially when it's a small chest on the other side over there. But the skulls are kind of beating Foomafu up. I think they should be okay, but there we go. Make the last skull fall into the pit. So, yeah, Osfula must have been a junk item. And so, now Adri's just gonna go and break the Hyrule Castle barrier and go and fight Yuga. Unless if the chest up there is a is Quake. So Adri's gonna check what Impa's check was. It's a small thing. It's $100. So Adri started grabbing small chests a little more, but they're not paying off for him. He still only has 4 hearts. So typically I try to grab the small chest until I have like maybe 6 or 7. Ooh, the ice rod. It's nice to have. It'll let you hit some switches that you're not supposed to in like Palace of Darkness. Lets you beat Turtle Rock, obviously. So the ice rod's actually really good at killing the red soldier up there on the ledge. But the purple potion's also great at doing that. So we'll see Adri just use the purple potion in this room, clear those guys out. And foomafu is freezing again, unfortunately. At least they're not in the middle of fighting Margot, but it's pretty unfortunate that freezing issues are happening in a top 4 match. But it seems like they're back. And it seems like foomafu might just be going straight to Hyrule Castle. And so, meanwhile, Adri is getting up to Yuga, and they're equipping the purple potion. I'm not sure how effective the purple potion will be in Yuga. I think I would save it for something else, but... And it doesn't seem like Adri knows that the Yuga with the portrait with the torch on fire is the real one. So they're going to be guessing at which one's which. If this takes long enough, it might give foomafu some time to catch up. Because so far, Adri's having pretty bad luck with the random guessing. I'm not sure what Adri is doing in the wall there. Okay, there we go. Adri hit the right one, so now he's going to follow this portrait. But now it's going to be back to guessing which one is which. All right, there we go. Adri hit the right one. So, unfortunately, Adri did not kill Yuga there. But there we go. Adri finally defeats Yuga. So, if foomafu knows how that Yuga fight works, that'll potentially put them in a nice advantage to catch up and save some time with their technical issues. And so there we can see Adri going into low rule now. So this will let them access Thief's Hideout, which is the most profitable dungeon check-wise. As well as Swamp Palace, but they don't have hook shots, so they can't go into Swamp Palace. So I imagine they're pretty quickly going to go to Thief's Hideout. That's what I would probably do, but we'll see. And unfortunately, the blacksmith is going to try to talk to you because you upgrade your sword. You supposedly upgrade your sword at the Hyrule blacksmith. So there, the hookshot chest is small. And this is big. And it's the hookshot, so Adri could go and do Swamp Palace as well now. And it seems like foomafu knows the trick with Yuga, so they're going to be able to go through this fight much faster. Especially with the super lamp. I love it. So here's 3 more checks, but it's a lot of junk, unfortunately. And okay, there's a piece of heart. We'd love to find some heart containers, probably. Both of our runners are just sitting at 4 hearts. Just like not a lot for when you're in low rule. Irene has a piece of heart, and Thief Girl has some monster guts. So it seems like Adri is actually going to go into Swamp Palace. The hookshot kind of led them in that direction. Maybe Swamp Palace is a portrait, and Thief's Hideout isn't. So if that's the case, I do like going to Swamp Palace over Thief's Hideout. I really love Swamp Palace. It's like such a chill vibe. So. Meanwhile, foomafu's going to be going into low rule now. And it'll be interesting to see what they do. And they're going straight to Thief's Hideout. So I am not sure whether any of these are portraits or not. Adri's found a lot of keys, though. So. And a B badge. Which is basically a junk item, but, you know, it's something, I suppose. And so, Adri does have the bow, so, okay, they are going to go for the little trick shot here. Doesn't seem like they know exactly how it works. And so they're going to give up on it. You need to go up the staircase a little bit, and then you can shoot it with the bow. It's pretty precise, but it's not too hard to get. Alright, and there's a big chest there. So there are only 2 keys in Thieves' Hideout. And then there's a bunch of other chests. So if you find a big chest in Thieves' Hideout, there's a good chance that it won't just be a key. But there was a key, and that's fine. Okay, there's blue mail. So that'll make foomafu feel a lot more comfy with just the 4 hearts. Alright, so this could be the small key. It is. So now we know if we see another big chest in Thieves' Hideout, it's either something good or yeah, just it's a progression item of some kind. So a big thing that our runners are currently missing is bombs. Bombs open up a lot of checks and are just very useful to have in general. Ooh, so we'll see what this is. It could be the big key. It is the big key. Kind of hoping it was something else, but what can you do? And it does seem like Adri is going to go through and do these extra rooms. You can skip them, especially with the amount of small keys that Adri has right now, but Adri's going to play it safe and be thorough with their chests. And they're also only down to half a heart right now, so they will need to be careful. And those skulls were not kind. And unfortunately, foomafu is having more technical issues. Oh, and there's a heart, so Adri's gonna feel a little more safe. But then they died. Did they see if the chest in that room was big or small? Because if it was small, then they can go and at least skip the rest of that, because going through that room is kind of slow. But foomafu's back up and running, grabbing the thief girl. And it must have been a big chest because Adri is going back into that room. So we'll see what this big chest is. I think it has to be some kind of progression item. I don't think there are any more small keys. It is Quake, so that definitely paid off. Okay, here's another big chest for foomafu. So we'll see what this is. We know there's the sand rod also for Adri. I was just about to say this big chest could be the sand rod, but Adri just found it. But it is the bombs, so that's also excellent to find. Pretty important item. Unfortunately, this bat is kind of trolling foomafu right now. I'll be curious to see if either of these dungeons are pendants, but if they're both portraits, that's decently good for the runners. But if one of them is a pendant, it'll be a little more interesting. So this room Adri's in right now, it is possible to skip glitchless, but you need the Pegasus boots, which neither of our runners have. So foomafu's gonna go grab the thief girl and keep making their way down. But the rats are bullying him first. Okay, using the boomerang to hit that switch. And so Adri's going to be making their way to fighting Argus now, I think. Nope, they're going to go and grab something. So since foomafu does have the hammer, they'll be able to fight Stallblind very quickly. The hammer is super effective against Stallblind for some reason. But maybe not as effective as the super lamp. So that's the weapon foomafu is choosing to go with. Meanwhile, Adri is clearing up Argus's eyes. So Adri could use the ice rod in this phase of Argus. It's pretty useful for knocking Argus back down whenever he's hopping around like this. But it seems like Adri's is going to go with the whack 'em till they die method, which is also good. So there we go. Both of our runners finished their respective bosses. And so now I'm very interested to see which ones of these are portraits or not. So Adri did get Quake, which is the big item that you need. Okay, so this is Irene. So Swamp Palace was required, and it had Quake, which Quake was in the worst chest in Swamp Palace, but that's fine. And this is Rosso, so both of these are required dungeons, so each of our runners should... Oh, and there's the hint glasses. They currently don't do anything. But, yeah, so now Adri's going to go and do Thief's Hideout as well. And then I'm assuming foomafu is going to be doing some low rule checks, find the hook shot, go into Swamp, and we'll see from there. But so far, our runners are pretty neck and neck, which is impressive with foomafu's technical issues also. It seemed like foomafu was behind for a while, but they've been able to play through dungeons more efficiently, I think, especially with the use of the super lamp. And so it's been very nice that foomafu's been able to still be in this race, even with their technical issues. All right, foomafu's finding the hook shot now. And since they do have bombs, they can actually do a few more checks around low rule. So that is what it looks like they're going to do. They're going to check the vacant house here. The Haunted Grove Stump is a piece of heart. That's good to know. That check is you have to beat the Pendant of Courage dungeon in order to get that check. And so I think at this point, the last crucial item that our runners are going to be looking for is the Bow of Light, which you need in order to beat Ganon. Fortunately, you can play through most of the game and then get to the Hint Ghost, and the Hint Ghost will tell you the area that the Bow of Light is in. So our runners don't need to be desperately trying to go out of their way to find it. Irene has a piece of heart, and Beef Girl has some monster guts. So now we know at this point, if we can, we should try to dodge Irene. And also, we don't need to check in on Beef Girl after you rescue her. This switch can be a little, and this bomb can be a little tricky sometimes. Yeah, unfortunately, Adri's gonna have to try again. There we go. We got it that time. Ooh, I like that. Just fall on top of that chest there. I actually haven't thought of doing that before, but that's actually a pretty slick way to easily grab that chest. Foomafu did not find the bow. I think Adri found that in the merge treasure dungeon. So both of our runners went into this room, but you can actually dodge this room. That's not necessary to go through, but that's all right. Yeah, Foomafu has been able to play through dungeons much more efficiently, which has helped Foomafu stay in this race pretty competitively, even with their technical issues. So here Foomafu is going to be fighting the mini boss, Big Jellyfish. It was interesting that now they're bouncing off, but it was weird that they weren't before. But fortunately, they're getting trolled by the lightning a little bit. So, Adri's going to be finding the bomb soon. Meanwhile, Foomafu's going to be finding Quake soon. Is it okay? I was worried Adri was having their own freezing issues for a second. Okay, so there are the bombs. Adri will be happy to find those. And so Foomafu is going into the room that I personally love to skip. And I would be punished for skipping it if I was in this race, so I'm glad I'm not in this race. But Foomafu was able to get through this room with the BMOS very quickly. So they're gonna find Quake. Meanwhile, Adri is working on freeing the thief girl. So there's Quake. And Adri did a nice job using a sword beam to hit that switch. Or maybe they missed it, but they got it that time. So there Foomafu finds the sand rod. And unfortunately, these guys are being kind of mean to foomafu. Oh no. It's okay. So using bombs, you can actually kill the guy on the left pretty quickly. But Adri just used the sword, quickly clear him out. And Adri is going to be making their way into fighting Stallblind. Meanwhile, foomafu is fighting the mini-boss in Swamp Palace. And it seems like Adri doesn't want to use the hammer against Stallblind. They might not know about that strategy. Seems like they're being very conservative because of their low health. So I do like Adri tanking that and just using the opportunity to just hit him a bunch. Oh no. I think foomafu did at least hit the switch there. So it'll be very easy for foomafu to get back into that room, I'm pretty sure. So they shouldn't lose too much time there. Oh no, they didn't hit that switch, so they're gonna have to go back all the way around. And they have to fight this mini-boss again. It's pretty rude. Oh no, the switch is there. Not the switch, the hookshot post. So, that's nice. Alright, so now foomafu's definitely going to be hitting that switch. Meanwhile, Adri is getting their Rosso portrait and the hint glasses, more importantly. So Rosso unlocks 2 checks, and I'm not sure if we've gotten hints about either of them. So it'll be interesting to see. And so Adri does have what he needs in order to go and do Desert Palace, which we know is required. We also know Skullwoods is required. So yeah, Desert and Skull are the last 2 dungeons needed, actually. Meanwhile, foomafu is gonna be going into Argus. And it seems like Adri is going into Skullwoods. There are a lot of checks around Skullwoods in general, so there is that. And foomafu made quick work of Argus here. Nicely done. And so they're gonna get Irene from that. And so I would personally probably head towards Desert over Skullwoods. Just because Desert has more check profitability compared to Skullwoods. But both of them are required, so you have to do both of them eventually. And so the Gibdos, it's interesting. If they're on fire, you can walk through them. So it's usually pretty good to hit them with the lamp and then just walk through them. Especially since having the lamp out is just useful in Skullwoods because there's a lot of dark rooms. And hopefully this chest is a small key. It is. So that saves you one time of having to go through the maze. Otherwise, you would have to go up to the top and get a small key. But now you can just go out this door right away. And it seems like foomafu is going to Desert Palace. So both of our runners again are doing the opposite dungeons of each other, and then we kind of have to watch both of them go through the dungeon again, except the other player. Treacherous Tower's a piece of heart. We knew that one already. Rasa 1 has a bug net. Interesting. So, I don't think our runners will be going up to Rasa for the bug net, but maybe, if you're up in the area. So, both of our runners still just having only 4 hearts. Pretty wild, honestly. The Flipper's mini dungeon's a piece of heart, so we won't be going to do that. So now we're in Desert Palace. This is one of my favorite dungeons in the game. I just think it's very cool. I like the vibe. Right away, we're going to be finding a small key. Meanwhile, Adri is going into the party room, as the speedrunning community for this game calls it. And so if you merge into the wall, you can, that'll make the hand slap down right away. And so there we saw Adri just make easy use of that to just get the hand out of the way so that they were able to get through the room. And so here Adri's going to use the hand to just slap this last guy in the mini boss room down. Meanwhile, foomafu is fighting this thing that I kind of hate. And so here, if you had the Pegasus boots, you could do a little dash to get the chest there, but since it's all small, Adri is just going to skip it. Adri grabbing the eye. This is a small chest, which is very nice to see, so we don't have to drag the other eye down from across the other side of the room. And there is a big chest, which could be the big key. So it probably is the big key. So Adri will need to go through and fall on the outside. Meanwhile, foomafu is getting into the mini boss room of Desert Palace, which is floor tiles. I think floor tiles kind of suck, personally. I've complained about floor tiles on this enough, but we'll wait for foomafu to slice through these tiles. I will say in Echoes of Wisdom, the floor tiles are actually kind of cool because you can use the floor tiles to ride them. So, good job on that, Nintendo, doing something creative with the floor tiles. So, now Adri's going to be going in to fight Knuckle Master. Knuckle Master is the most tedious boss in A Link Between Worlds. foomafu just nicely dodging the Beamos there. And so it was okay. Both these chests are big, so we will need to do the north room stuff. And fortunately, Adri is having some hard time dealing with Knuckle Master here, so he's gonna have to go through some extra cycles of the hand slapping. So foomafu did have bombs that you could use to blow up those blocks, but that works too. Oh, that's pretty slick. You don't even have to pick up that other rock. You can just raise it up here. So Adri finishes off Knuckle Master. And gets a piece of heart. And so it doesn't really matter if it's Ceres or Queen Orin. We know the Queen Orin is check his junk, so it was Queen Orin, but like I said, it doesn't really matter. And so foomafu still needs the big key, so they're gonna need to do this room down south. If they had the big key, I would say skip this room, but for the sake of thoroughness, you need to. So this is likely the big key. Now it's a bug net. So definitely don't need the bug net from Rosso. Because the super net, while it's cool, it doesn't really do much, especially if you have the super lamp. Oh, so here's the big key, probably. Yep. And it seems like Adri is going to be doing overworld checks. This was a big chest, so I guess that does make a little sense, but if they don't find much in these overworld checks, and there's not much that they desperately need to find, this could potentially put Adri, give foomafu a chance to catch up if foomafu goes straight to Skullwoods after this. But it seems like Adri is just going to go into Desert Palace now, so they didn't spend too much time with overworld checks. Okay, I like that. Just merge over here. I've also seen it where you just make the block wall along the left wall there. And so now Fumafu's gonna be going to fight the big snake. It's a pretty easy boss. It's basically what you do. Oh, and they got the way to get up on the edge there. Very nicely done, Foomafu. So now Foomafu can just make very quick work. Well, not very quick work, but quicker work of the big snake. So this is a glitchless tournament, but little tricks like that are allowed. So nicely done by Foomafu there. And there's Ceres. Yeah, it's a pretty slick thing that you can do with the boss there. So here Fumafu, I think, is probably going to warp. Go into Hyrule and then warp into Kakariko in order to go right to Skullwoods. And then from there, they can go and get the Bow of Light hint and see where they need to go from there. The worst case scenario currently is that the Bow of Light is somewhere in Lowrel Castle. That's would just be unfortunate because we currently can skip most of Lowrel Castle, and Lowrel Castle is pretty long and slow. But it would be good for the content if that was the case. So that would make things more interesting, because so far the seed has been pretty straightforward. But Fumafu going right into Skullwoods. Meanwhile, Adri is working their way through Desert Palace. They're finally at 5 hearts now. Fumafu is still only at 4, so that is kind of spooky against Yuganon. But I'm sure our runners will be able to make the most of it, especially since Fumafu has the super lamp. They'll especially be able to try and make quick work of Uganon's first phase. So there's some more Master Ore. If we find the fourth one, we can go into the Low World Blacksmith and upgrade our sword, which is nice to have. And the Gibdos are giving foomafu some trouble here. But fortunately, there's some skulls over here that normally have hearts. So that'll be nice for foomafu to have. Here's another piece of heart. So Adri grabbing all the small chests now. I think they're pretty worried about their health situation. And that's a heart container, so that's definitely very nice to have. So foomafu's in the party room. We've seen some speedrun strats, so I think they are going to go for the... but they got hit, so they're not going to be able to do it in time. So now we'll see them just go and tornado rod up there. You can do it before the hand comes down, but you can't get hit, basically. And foomafu equipping the fire rod. I think I'm using that against the Gibdo here. Ooh, it was nice that the fire rod also hit the mini Moldorm there. So foomafu going into the last section of Skullwoods. And they'll be happy to see that they don't need the eyeball, the second eyeball here. And Adri skipping. Oh no, never mind. For a second I thought they were going to be skipping that room, but they're getting it. So here, foomafu finds the big key. And I don't think this was the big key. No, it was the bug net. That's right. So now foomafu can go and fight Knuckle Master. And unfortunately, I don't think the Super Lamp is actually great against Knuckle Master. I'm sure we're about to find out. For some reason, I feel like it can't reach or something because it has pretty short range. Oh, no, never mind. So, there we see foomafu using the Super Lamp there to get maximum damage on Knuckle Master. Try to make this painful fight go through as quickly as we can. Oh no, foomafu, don't merge. Merging will... Oh, never mind. So, normally if you merge in the wall there, Knuckle Master will keep slapping forever. But it seems like maybe if you just merge for the first one and then just get hit the other times, he won't do that. So, not a bad strategy. So, one more cycle. So, there, foomafu makes pretty quick work of Knuckle Master. And that'll give them their 7th portrait. And they're going to make their way quickly to Low Roll Castle, I imagine, and get the Bow of Light hint. A very fast seed so far from both of our runners. Depending on where the Bow of Light is. If the Bow of Light isn't some nonsense, then this might take a little while, but... Let's see, we know it's not on the Low Roll Blacksmith or the bouldering guy. Like Floating Island would be pretty bad if that's where it was. Or Low Roll Castle would also be pretty unfortunate. So, yeah, because our runners defeated Yuga in Hyrule Castle earlier, they're going to be able to warp pretty much straight to the throne room where Uganon is. And so, Bow of Light and Low Roll Castle. Wow. And so foomafu is going to grab some fairies while they're here. And then they're going to have to play through. Then they're going to have to play through parts of Low Roll Castle until they find the Bow of Light. So, meanwhile, Adri is working on slapping the big snake. It would be wild if the Bow of Light was vanilla, but it's possible for sure. foomafu, maybe if you scoot fruit. I'm actually not sure if scoot fruiting would put you back at the beginning of the dungeon here. But they're gonna go this way. We can see a little visual bug here where Link will be glowing like this until he gets hit. So, if foomafu is a true gamer, foomafu will be winning the game glowing like this. So, that would be pretty impressive. Yeah, it's definitely a very close race. All right. And so this is also tough because there's a lot of small keys in Low Roll Castle. So there's a lot of big chests just kind of hanging around, which makes this even more awkward. So there's like, I think 5 chests that you can check before you go into a trial. And then I would probably go into the bomb trial first. There's 2 chests that you can check there and get to pretty easily. All right, here's the first big chest, small key. And so there's another one that's hidden. That over here. And that's a small chest, so we're gonna ignore that. Even though we only have 4 hearts. And there's a big chest, so we're gonna merge over to that one. There, Adri just found out that that they're gonna have to do Low Roll Castle. And so often our runners are able to like generally just kind of skip trials. So it'll be interesting to see which of between these 2 runners, like who is better at doing trials. All right, more small keys. And I'm not sure if Adri peeked at the chest on the right over there or not. So there is a chest on the first floor to the right there. Hopefully that's not the bow of light. That was a small chest. I was able to see it through the grate there. So. Alright, they are going to grab the warp here, since they are closest to death. And then I'm assuming they're going to do the bomb trial. Because there's 2 chests there. Alright, there's a big chest. And there's a small chest, so that's nice. You don't have to drag the... You don't have to drag the bomb flower over there. But foomafu dies here. But they have a fairy. So it's not too bad. They're going to be able to get right back up. I forgot that they actually went and grabbed fairies. So. What? No, foomafu. Okay, they're gonna go this way. You could have just risen yourself up on the platform over there, but this works too. Oh, the red mail, French vanilla. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's good for foomafu to have. They only have 4 hearts, so I'm sure they're not upset about it, but definitely not what they were looking for. And so now they're gonna do the tile trial. I'm trying to think. There's a big chest though. That's nice. That's the easy one to get to. I think there might be one more. Another small key. That one must have been small. That was too fast for me to really tell. So we're gonna be going up to the 4th floor. So where the red mail is vanilla is a check up here. But they're gonna go check the lamp trial first. Nope, never mind. Oh my gosh. Alright, time to do the lamp trial. And it looks like they have this memorized, potentially. Nope. Not quite. That is a big chest. And it doesn't seem like they remember how to get there from here. It is kind of tricky. There's all these bats coming for foomafu. Oh no, they just got it. A small key. So they have to go to the last trial now. And I'm not sure why Adri is fighting this boss. Yeah, I'm not sure why Adri is fighting the mini boss here. And foomafu, I'm not sure. Maybe they just... Part of me was wondering if they were just trying to death warp. All right. So the oh wait, no, I think they have another fairy. All right, so one more trial for foomafu to check. Which is the hookshot trial. Which is pretty unfortunate because I think the chest for this one is pretty out of the way. And yeah, so they're gonna have to do the whole eyeball thing, I think, to get this. But I don't think there are any besides on Zelda, literally on Zelda. Which it's increasingly looking like that might be the case. I don't think there are really any other chests in Lorville Castle other than the last one here. Oh no, foomafu. And Adri actually played through these trials pretty quickly. And so, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Pretty smart of Adri to actually use the ice rod here to get across there faster. Oh, and that switch was already open. I'm trying to think, is there actually another chest here? There must be. I'm trying to think of where it is, though. Is it after you go through this? All right, that was nice of the game to give you back the raft and the eyeball. Oh no, foomafu got grabbed again. But it seems like both of our runners are having trouble with the hookshot trial. But it seems like Adri is actually... Oh, okay. I thought Adri was going to take a gamble of it being on Zelda. It seemed like they were considering it. Honestly, I think it's reasonable to take that kind of gamble at this point. Wow, this is wild. Racing through the trials like this. Oh, that was smart of foomafu, using the bomb there. Throw the eyeball. Okay. This is kind of stressing me out too, Snowflake. Not gonna lie. Oh no. Okay. So, So far, this seems promising for foomafu. All right, they're free. Oh my gosh, I thought they were going to get grabbed there again. All right, they finally got that eye in there. So now they can go get the easier eye. So here, oh no, okay. That's okay. They can just merge away here now. Oh, did Adri throw the eyeball in there? I think it's on Zelda. I don't think there are any other chests. The Bow of Light is on Zelda. Wait, no? Is there a chest that... Is Adri double checking this room? Or no, is he just death warping? No? I think it's on Zelda. I can't think of any other... Yeah, it's on Zelda. Foomafu, what are you doing? I think he's thinking that there's another chest. Oh no. So, scoot fruit potentially just get out of here? No? We're gonna see. I think Adri's not sure where it could be either. But they did complete the trial, so they're gonna go and check see if it's on Zelda. And it seems like Foomafu is also heading towards Uganda now. So, one advantage that Foomafu does have is that they have the super lamp. So they'll be able to fight through Uganon much quicker to find the Bow of Light. But I think Foomafu is also going to be making a pit stop for the fairies. If Foomafu just went straight for getting it on Zelda, instead of checking the lamp trial room again, like Adri could have had it. Alright, so, I mean, Foomafu could have had it. But, okay. So now Adri is fighting Uganon. They just have a Master Sword. So, it is going to be decently longer. Foomafu does have the Super Lamp, so if the Foomafu does get lucky, they'll be able to fight through Uganon very quickly. So they are using the Super Lamp pretty effectively. Yeah, I think the Super Lamp is going to power through. So, Foomafu will need to be careful though. They have fairies, but they still don't have that much life to work with. And Uganon is being pretty mean with the teleports also. Normally the Super Lamp, Uganon will not teleport very much. Okay, there's the first phase of Uganon down for Foomafu. And so now it's going to be the energy tennis and dodging the fairy phase. Yeah, this is so close. This might be the closest race we've had so far. All right, here we're going to see. Is there a chest that we're all forgetting, or is the Bow of Light on Zelda? All right, so there's the Bow of Light, but is it actually the Bow of Light? It is. Oh my gosh! So vanilla Bow of Light here, and so now foomafu is able to go through and continue this. That is wild. That is vanilla Bow of Light. I don't know what chance that is, but it's small. And so there we go. Foomafu is very nicely dodging all of these little fairies. Well done. Uganon wants the second round of energy tennis, so Foomafu will give it. And he accidentally gets hit. So it's a love 15 currently. All right, there we go. Foomafu won the round. There, Adri gets their Bow of Light. All right, so now Foomafu has to dodge the fairies again. This round of dodging fairies is a lot more tricky, but I know that they have some fairies left over. Okay, there we go. So now it should be home free. Foomafu just has to smash the sword button. They're playing it very carefully. Oh my gosh. Okay, Adri falls, but they have a fairy. But I think Foomafu has this. They just need to shoot the Bow of Light there. And it hits Uganon. And then just one more hit. Boom. So time will happen once Adri touches the Triforce. All right. I'm going to be sending an invite to Adri. And, to Foomafu and Adri. Foomafu said that they do want to come. And, oh my gosh, that immediately after they touched the Triforce, their emulator froze. That's wild. I'm very glad that the emulator didn't freeze before that. Hello, Foomafu. Congratulations, GG. There, Adri's finishing up. Both getting sub 2 hour times, both runners.
Can you hear me now? There we go.
Yeah, I can hear you.
That castle, man.
That was insane.
Could not recall if it was the second chest in the lamp trial, and the freaking trial was such a mess.
And just like, it was crazy because both you and Adri were like going through all the trials at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
And so we were all just like watching you, and then both of you were struggling in the hookshot trial. And
just,
then
man, all of the enemies had it out for me this run. They were just in the way all the time. Swamp Palace was like that too.
Yeah, and both of you like had no hearts for so much of it either. Red
Mail helped, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was like, that's not the Bow of Light, but I don't think Foomafu's gonna be upset about finding that.
Freaking vanilla Bow of Light, that's crazy.
That is. I want to know what the chance of that is. Like, it has to be so small. But
I'm like, you're kidding me. I pulled up the map on my tracker, and I'm like, wait, no, I think that's it. I think it's just Zelda.
yeah. So besides like the climatic ending, like how did you feel about the seed overall? Besides that,
It was so linear. It was just you did one, you got the item for one dungeon, you get the next item for the next dungeon in that dungeon.
Yeah,
it was kind of just go go go. There was never any exploratory period.
Yeah, and unfortunately with the emulator freezes, like you were still able to pull out the win, but
it's
like,
never done that before. It's so weird.
Yeah. Rick with an H says it's 1 in roughly 260 chance for vanilla
For the Bow of Light.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I think overall, like, you were playing through the dungeons like really well for the most part, and I think Adri was taking a little more time just in the dungeons, and so even with like the emulator issues, I think that was giving you enough of an edge. Plus, you also had the super lamp early, and so you were able to use that against some of the bosses to go through them more quickly.
That was really nice.
So, and then obviously that helped in you Ganon, because while you were like checking the lamp trial a second time, Adri went right to Zelda, but then you had the super lamp, which was able to go through.
Oh wow! I'll have to rewatch this one, see just how close we were the whole time.
It was pretty crazy, like, and it was kind of interesting because like you went into Thief's Hideout and Adri went into Swamp, and then you went into Desert and Adri went into Skull Woods, and so like each of you were doing the opposite dungeons at the same time. It was a good race.
Maybe it might be Adri. I'm using a different emulator than that one, but it might be worth a shot.
Yeah.
It's so weird because it hasn't been updated or anything in years, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be all sorts of things, but so you're going to be going up against Seb. You were in Seb's group, right? So
yes, yep. He was my one loss in the first round.
So how are you feeling about going up against Seb again?
Oh, I'm ready. He scares me.
Seb is crazy, honestly. It's going to be it'll be a strong opponent for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so hopefully that match will be happening soon. That is best of 3 actually, so you'll have multiple chances.
Yep, that is what I've heard.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know.
You only had green mail when you were. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to the chat right now. Let me see. Yeah, that was definitely like probably the closest match though, I think I've seen so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like within a minute pretty much. Let's see.
Probably, yeah, that's very, very well played.
Yeah, pretty much exactly a minute.
Oh my gosh. Wild.
Yeah. But yeah, very, very good race overall. I'm very excited to be watching you and Seb.
Yeah, we'll go at it again.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I think that's about it for me.
Okay.
It was a tough race, very close. Well played, Adri.
It was very entertaining. GG's to both of you. Congratulations on moving up.
Thank you.
So I'm assuming that the next races will be getting scheduled soon, and I'll probably be available. I'll be here to commentate again. So hopefully we can get someone else also commentating. But yeah. Thank you for the race. Thank you for coming to the booth. Adri, GG's. Thank you. And I'll talk to y'all later.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.